Hello there and welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, we'll be solving over 10 most repeated post-UTME questions in chemistry. Today's question, the first question we have for today says, which of the following is a chemical change? Which of the following is a chemical change? A. Melting of ice. B. Dissolving sugar in water. C. Rusting of iron. D. Evaporation of water. The first thing we need to note here is the meaning of chemical change. What is chemical change? Chemical change can be defined as a process in which one or more substances is transformed into a new substance with the chemical properties being altered. I repeat myself, chemical change is a process in which one or more substances is transformed into a new substance with different chemical properties. Example, we have rusting of iron, we have burning of wood, we also have cooking or boiling of an egg. You understand? Okay. Also note that in chemical changes, the first thing you need to note is that new substances are formed. Also note that it is irreversible. You cannot reverse the process. Example, burning of wood. If you burn a wood, you cannot reverse the process. Now for this option here, it says, option A says melting of ice. Option B, dissolving sugar in water. Option C, rusting of iron. And option D, evaporation of water. The correct option here is option C, rusting of iron. Thus, correct answer is option C, rusting of iron. Now, rusting is a chemical reaction whereby iron reacts with oxygen and moisture to form a new substance known as carbon dioxide. Rusting is a process whereby iron reacts with water and moisture to form a new product or a new substance known as carbon dioxide. Here, melting of ice. If you melt ice, you can still return it back to the original state. Dissolving sugar in water. If you dissolve sugar in water, if you heat it upon evaporation, you can still get back your sugar. Evaporation of water. These are all physical changes except rusting of iron. This is irreversible. For question 2 says, how many moles are in 22.4 dm cube of carbon dioxide at STP? How many moles are in 22 dm cube of carbon dioxide at STP? Option A says 1.0 mole. Option B, 2.0 mole. Option C, 0.5 moles. And option D, 1.5 moles. At STP, which is standard temperature and pressure, 1 mole of gas occupies 22.4 dm cube. So, 22.4 dm cube is equal to 1 mole exactly. That is, at STP, which is standard temperature and pressure, 1 mole of gas contains 22.4 dm cube. Therefore, 22.4 dm cube is equal to 1 mole exactly. So the correct option here is option A, 1.0 mole exactly. Question 3 says the number of unpaired electrons in a nitrogen atom is dash. 1. A 1, B 3, C 2, and D 0. The number of unpaired electrons in a nitrogen atom is A 1, B 3, C 2, and you have D to be 0. Now, solution. Remember the atomic number of nitrogen is what? The atomic number of nitrogen is 7. The atomic number of nitrogen, that is N, is 7. The electronic configuration is the electronic configuration is 1s1, 1s2, 2s2, and 2p3. You have 2 plus 2 will give us 4, 4 plus 3 will give us 7. Now, from Hund's rule, it says electrons are singly filled in an orbital before pairing. You first of all, when writing the electronic configuration, you first of all fill them singly before pairing. So for this we have 1s1, 1s2, 1s, 2s2, and this you have what? 2p3. Don't forget. Now for here you have how many? 1, 2. Here you have 1, 2, 2, 2. 4 electrons are off. You have how many remaining? 3. So here you say you fill them singly before pairing. So first of all fill them singly before pairing. You don't pair them. So the correct answer here says the number of unpaired electrons in a nitrogen atom is, you have this 1, 2, 3. These 3 electrons are unpaired. So the correct option here is option B, 3 electrons. Question 4 says, what volume of 0.5 moles of hydrochloric acid is required to neutralize 25 cm³ of 0.1 moles of sodium hydroxide? What volume of 0.5 moles of hydrochloric acid is required to neutralize 25 cm³ of 0.1 moles of sodium hydroxide? Now we're going to solve this using the neutralization equation, where we have M1V1 is equal to M2V2. Now from the question we were given, they say what volume of 0.5 moles of hydrochloric acid is required. So they give us M1 to be equal to what? 0.5 moles. They say what volume, so we don't know the V1 is unknown. They also give us what? M2. The second mass is what? 0.1. 0.1 moles. And they give us the second volume to be 25 cm³. Now substituting this into this equation, we have M1V1 is equal to M2 V2. Let's make this subset of formula, V1 subset of formula. We have V1 is equal to M2 V2 all over M1. Our M2 is what? 0.1 times our V2 is what? 0.1 moles times our V2 is what? 25 cm cube, all divided by our M1, which is 0.5 moles. We have 0.5 moles. Moles will cancel mole to go out. 0.1 times 25 cm cube will give us 2.5 cm cube divided by 0.5. 2.5 divided by 0.5 will give us 5. Don't forget the units, cm cube. Therefore, the correct answer to this equation is option A, 0.5 cm cube. Question 5 says, which of the following substance is not an element? Which of the following substance is not an element? Option A, sulfur. Option B, air. C, we have oxygen. And D, we have gold. The correct answer is option B, air. Reason being that air is a mixture of gases, mainly nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and carbon dioxide. It is not a pure substance or element. Question 6 says, what is the oxidation number of sulfur in sulfuric acid, which is H2SO4, sulfuric acid? You have option A to be +2, option B +4, option C +6, and option D -2. Now solution, let's solve this question together. What we have here is sulfuric acid, which is H2SO4. They say we should find the oxidation number of sulfur, which is this. We have to find the oxidation number of sulfur. Now, let's express this in this format. This is what H times 2 plus, the next is what? S, which is sulfur, plus, this is what? Oxygen. Oxygen is what? O times 4. Now, let's write the oxidation number of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen and oxygen, so we can find sulfur. For hydrogen, we have hydrogen is equal to +1. This equation to be H times, instead of writing H, you say 1 times 2 plus S, which is sulfur, plus oxygen is what? -2 times 4. 1 times 2 will give us 2, plus sulfur plus 2 -2 times 4 will give us what? -8. This is equal to 0. Now, minus times this will change this. Minus times, plus times minus will give us what? Minus. So we have this equal to 0. If we collect like terms, we have S plus 2 minus 8 equal to 0. 2 minus 8 will give us what? S minus 6 is equal to 0. We will make S a subset of formula. We have X is equal to, this cross to the side, 6. And this 6 is not a -6, it's a +6. So we have +6. Now, from this option here, the correct option is option C with +6.